you have a show that you're already really well suited to host. Knowing yourself and getting the coaching and insight of like what kind of show will play to your strengths will make the most massive difference in the success of your show, the sustainability, the longevity, the profitability. Welcome to this new series on our YouTube channel. I'm Christine Baird. I am the owner of Worthville Media, and I'm sitting in our studios in Salt Lake City, Worthville Studios. I'm the co-host of the podcast that you've seen on this channel for a while. But I'm bringing you a special series because we just wrapped season 3 of our show, and we want to bring you YouTube videos all year long, pretty much weekly. And that's because we're a YouTube and podcast production house for personal brands in health and wellness, self-development, and entrepreneurship. And this is what we do, so I'm going to show it to you. However, there's a specific topic I want to cover this year on this series, and it's the topic that I spend the most time working with our clients on because, as you know, when you hire a production house, they handle all the technical, right? That's what people hire us to do. Pre-production, recording, editing, publishing, all this stuff that show hosts don't have time to do. But what I actually spend my time doing, that's what the team does. Now, at this stage, I'm actually doing most of my work with advising and consulting show hosts on how to be better at what they do as show hosts and how to make shows that actually bring the return on investment they're looking for. And I really love doing this. It's one of my favorite things. I've been doing this for 9 years, so I feel privileged to have some experience. I've worked on really cool shows. I've worked with really cool people who have a lot of seasoned experience in teaching their wisdom and sharing their perspectives. But there's some really simple and clear missteps that a lot of show hosts as personal brands can make. And I want to help you avoid those. And you don't have to pay us to be our client for you to learn. And that's what I love about YouTube and podcasting, learning for free. So that's what the series is going to be about on the channel this year. It won't be on our podcast. It'll just be on the YouTube channel. Subscribe. We're going to bring these to you weekly. Share them with your friends. Refer to them often. These are truly going to be a golden resource because the reason we make podcasts and YouTube shows is to share the knowledge or the stories or the perspectives or conversations that we have access to that other people don't. And we want to share it with more people, right? Like that's the fun of being a show host. And yeah, it's awesome for marketing your business. Yes, it primes your clients to buy from you. Yes, it can bring an amazing return on investment through your relationships and your thought leadership and your status. Yes, yes, yes. Also, none of that's really going to happen at the level you're seeking if you don't invest in becoming a better show host. And nobody learns to do this just through life. There's a lot of skills we pick up in life. There's a lot of skills you've picked up watching this. Just you have a lot of expertise, but being a show host is probably not one of them unless you're already a paid media professional. And if you are, you're probably not watching this video because you've probably gone to professional trainings to learn how to do that. You probably have decades of experience interviewing, hosting, teleprompter reading, camera work, audio work, mental work. But most of us haven't done that. And that doesn't mean we don't have amazing shows to share with the world. But if we don't invest in our show host skills, they don't just magically come. So I'm going to sort of bust some myths at the beginning of this series. I'm going to give you some great free resources to follow up and do some homework on. And then I'm going to I'm going to answer your frequently asked questions throughout the series. So leave them in the comments because we will answer the questions you send to us about being a better show host as a personal brand. Okay, today's myth that we're busting right off the top is that everyone is supposed to do the same kind of show and that everyone is supposed to be the same kind of show host if they are quote unquote successful. I'm saying this with the perspective of having produced some pretty high profile shows in the world of personal brand, self-development, health and wellness, entrepreneurship. So I've done those. I've seen what it takes. I've worked with those show hosts. I have a lot of respect for what they do and what their talents are. But the truth is most of us are not that person, and that's not a bad thing because we're not all supposed to be the same. And even though that has been kind of held up through the years as like the way, what we're thankfully expanding into now after like a decade of podcasting and YouTubing under everyone's belts is that actually when you play to your natural strengths and you host the show that you're best suited to host, you will shine and your audience will love you and they'll get the most value and you'll have the most fun and everybody's happy. We call it a win-win. And the truth is most people are not suited to do an interview style conversation-based podcast. I know, but it's true. There's data that shows it. There's anecdotal evidence. I made a quiz just recently that's free to everyone. You can see the link in the video description, literally so that you can self-identify which type of show host you naturally are. And it's so short and it's free. So I highly encourage you to take that if you haven't yet. There are 3 types of show hosts I identify. This is specific to personal brands. So if you're a storyteller, you may be like, where do I fit in? But we were working with personal brands, so that's what I tailored these quiz results to. And that will really be telling, because if you've never kind of gone through the work of how do I get my natural strengths to play to my show, it will be revelatory, and it could really either reignite your love of being a show host if you're kind of burned out and wondering if it's worth it, or it could really set you off on the right path if you're just starting a show or you want to start a show. So tip number 1, take the quiz. The link is in the video description. It's so quick, it's free. You'll get emailed a pretty rich, juicy guide that I wrote myself for each type. So whatever your quiz result is, you'll get a custom email for that. And we're gonna cover a lot of those topics on the series this year, but the one thing I want you to take away from this video is you have a show that you're already really well suited to host. It may not be the show you were thinking, but it might be. You might be really self-aware in that department already. But the main thing is knowing yourself and getting the coaching and insight of like what kind of show will play to your strengths will make the most massive difference in the success of your show, the sustainability, the longevity, the profitability. And so that's what I want you to pay attention to more than anything else. No matter what you see your friends doing or shows that you follow, I want you to really pay attention to what are your natural strengths and how do those fit into a show. And I don't expect you to have the answers. That's why I made a quiz, so that you can get the answers from us for free and really start on this path. Okay, I'll leave it there for today. Obviously take the quiz, obviously subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be bringing you the gold, and I can't wait to share more with you in the next video about being the best kind of show host you can be.